Morning all. It is Tuesday the 3rd of May, so we're getting in there into the end of the year pretty deep. I sent out an email earlier this week that had a lot of questions come with respect to being able to transfer the title on the property that you have, right, your investment property, to an LLC when you're using a conventional loan. Now, first and foremost, guys, this is not you being able to do the loan in the name of the LLC with conventional financing. That's not the situation. Still, as it was before, when you buy a property with conventional financing, it has to be in your name, right? And then the other thing it is, and then you can transfer it after it's closed to your, I always say a single member LLC. You can still transfer it to another LLC, you have controlling interest, but I don't want to encourage you to do that, right? Talk to your attorney, talk to everybody else, decide for yourself, but we'll go into why. Then also, just because you transferred it does not take it off the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac 10 finance properties, right? The conventional 10. You have up to 10 finance properties using conventional lending, right? That is still the same. If you financed it personally, transfer it to your LLC, you still have interest in a finance property personally because you did the loan personally. Still counts as that. It's still in your credit. It doesn't eliminate that. So just transferring the title does not eliminate that. So just know that. But let's talk about what this looks like. This is the actual Fannie Mae guidelines. Pulled it directly from Fannie. It was sent out to you guys in the email. It has some links to that so you can read it yourself. Here is the highlighted stuff, right? So the mortgage itself, you know, the property was securitized by Fannie Mae on or before June 1st of 2016. Excuse me, on or after, not on or before, on or after June 1st of 2016. That's pretty much everybody who's done a loan in the last, what was that, 6 years now? So coming up on 6 years. The LLC itself that you transfer it to is controlled by the original borrower. You, if you bought the house, you're the original person who bought the house. And the original borrower owns a majority interest in the LLC. 51+% is what I read majority. They didn't put a percentage in here. I'm just saying above 50%, 51 or more is what I believe is being put here. Don't quote me on that. That's up to you and your attorney. And if the transfer results in a permitted change of occupancy type into the investment property, such as change does not violate the security instrument, meaning you're not changing it to a different type of residence. It has to be 100% the way it was written, the type of loan. You did it as an investment property, it has to stay as an investment property, right? And the, and if for some reason there's an issue with that, the servicer will notify you that the property transferred to LLC must be transferred back to a natural person prior to any subsequent refinance or application to meet any requirements for a refinance or any other type of well, let's just put it this way. How do I, let's just break that down where it makes a lot more sense than reading what they said. If you have any, if once you own the property, you're buying the property, you have to buy it in your personal name, right? We already know that. Close on it in your personal name. Then you can transfer it to the LLC. Then if you ever go to refinance it, you have to transfer it out of the LLC back into your name to get the refinance done because it's still a personal loan. So know that it's going to have to go back and forth. So understand what market you're in. Understand if there's transfer taxes to move it back and forth. Know that before you start stepping into this whole moving it around stuff. That if you have transfer taxes, moving it from you to your LLC and back, you could be taxed several times there. So understand there are markets that have transfer taxes. So you want to know how you're going to do that. The other thing, when it comes to what I mentioned before about single member LLCs, when it comes to the qualifying piece, right? When you're buying a property and you're going to, let's say you're getting these loans on your name, and then you transfer an LLC with your spouse. And now on your taxes, you and your spouse own this LLC, you have 50%. Now, one, you're violating the rules that we just put out there because you don't have controlling interest anymore. You've shared that interest. If you have 2 people on that LLC with you, now it's 3 people on the LLC, you now have 1/3 of the interest unless the LLC is written otherwise, right? The other thing that we have to look at is how much interest do those others have? And with that interest, how much is it going to go on the LLC taxes to income to them versus income to you? Well, if you're 100% liable for the loan, but you're not getting 100% of the income, whether it be 50% or 30% or 51% or whatever it is, you have less to qualify with. So think about that before you start building LLCs with other people on it. Your qualifying capability gets diminished because the income that you've got on the property is being shrunk because you're distributing it to other people, but you still have 100% of the debt. Wrap your head around that. So that's why I always tell people, listen, if you and your spouse are buying properties, build a wall, have 2 different LLCs, 2 different entities. You know, I have had some folks tell me, well, they were worried. So what if something happens to our marriage, you know, and now I don't have ownership in this. I have never, and you talk to your attorneys or however to get comfortable with it, I've never heard of a location in the United States anywhere where a person can build stuff while they're married and then somehow that other individual not get half of it if they decided to divorce. I mean, I just don't know of a state that does that. If there is a state that does that, I guarantee it'd be populated with men, all men, maybe, right? So be aware of those things that you don't have to talk to your attorney, make sure you're aware of how you're structured and that you shouldn't have to stress about that kind of thing. So that's that, right? That's how the LLC thing works. You got to contact the title company, have them transfer it. You now have the information that says it's transferable. I don't know that we're going to offer any sort of letter for you, for your attorney to get happy with it. You have this right there tells you in that email. If you don't have that email, let us know. We'll send it back out. Now let's get into the markets, what we've got going on here. So this is, of course, the Fannie Mae markets, right? We've seen where we played the upward game, and now we're back down here, still in this channel. In fact, I'm going to see if I can draw this channel out here for us. See if I can make it make sense. But we're still in this. Yep, look at that. We're right there at the bottom of the channel. Now we were above it, bouncing above it. See, you see, we're a few days ago we were riding above the channel. Now we're at the bottom inside the channel. So we are decidedly still going down. I can't tell you when it's going to stop. I don't know when it's going to stop, but we're decidedly still going to go downward, and we're going to experience this continued downward until such time that there is enough interest in the mortgage-backed securities to go the other direction. I don't know when that is. We know a recession is looming, you know, with what's happening. We know that there's going to be more rate hikes by the Fed. It's all coming, right? So all I can tell people is lock when you're ready. When you got that property, you know it's going to close. Let's lock the thing. Let's move on. Let's not look back. Let's keep moving forward because you're still way ahead when you consider where the rate should be and where inflation is. Appreciate you guys. I will talk to you on Friday.